White walls and spokes? It's gotta be the 50s. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:64 scale Hot Wheels 1956 Corvette. It's really a simple little convertible casting, but I'm absolutely not comfortable with the paint job. Nobody, and there are no exceptions, should put flames on a Corvette. So I'm going to do a flame-free makeover in a classic color combination. Check my playlist for more Corvette customs. I think they come in at number 2, with this making 18 builds, behind the number of Porsches I've done, which is 37. I'm a fan. This particular casting debuted in 2023 as part of the HW Screen Time series. According to the Hot Wheels fandom site, it's an all-electric restomod of a 56 Corvette that featured in the Barbie film starring Margot Robbie. Differences from a real 1956 Corvette include a shorter length, rear seats, a charge door on the front right fender, and the EV in the Chevrolet wordmark on the side highlighted in blue to emphasize the Corvette's electric powertrain. Mine's got Ken on the license plate and aero disc wheels. Whole bunch of stuff has to get changed. Anyway, I've got a plan in mind that I hope you'll agree with. Stick around and see where I take this one. The very first order of business, with absolutely no regrets, is paint stripping away these flames. And that's the last you'll see of Ken on the license plate, too. Good riddance, and what an abomination. I'm feeling better already. Look at that. The 1956 Corvette is part of the first generation C1 of Corvettes produced by Chevrolet. It was introduced late in the 1953 model year and continued through 1962. The Corvette was rushed into production for its debut model year to capitalize on the enthusiastic public reaction to the concept vehicle. However, the high expectations for the new car went largely unfulfilled. Reviews were mixed, and as hard as it is to believe now, sales were dismal through the car's early years. The program was nearly scrapped by GM, but they decided to make necessary improvements because Ford was developing a two-seater that became the Thunderbird. I'm glad they stuck with it. Here are some of the upcoming projects that I've got lined up on Maple Leaf Customs. I hope you'll be back to watch each of them. You can look forward to a new upload every Saturday at the same time, and if you get all subbed up, you'll be sure not to miss a single one of them. All I ask is that you give this video a thumbs up, and if you do leave a comment, be respectful, and thank you for helping me keep this channel family friendly. Customizers have redone the C1 Corvettes in every color of the rainbow. I'm going to totally sell out on this one and go with the classic red body with the white infill. So that requires some careful masking for the two-tone paint job that's coming up. This American icon is getting Italian racing red as the base coat, which I know is going to look very sharp. I'm using an Aventus Black Aurora with a 0.4mm needle, One of the latest additions to my airbrush inventory, supplied by the good people at Gaahleri. Check the video description below for a 10% discount code that you can use on your next purchase of anything on their website. I did a diamond white coat first, which was clear coated before the red application. That's why the tape lifts off without any paint peeling. The real-life 56 convertible had 2 sport seats up front. The Barbie film edition has 2 bench seats. Oof. But that's what I have to work with in this project. Off with the steering wheel. You can see I resprayed the whole interior in white for a nice contrast with the red body. There's a replacement 3D printed steering wheel. And I can do some highlights on the dash too. There are lots of nice features in this casting that need some chrome highlights. I'll start with the grille up front. I'm using a couple of drops of Molotow chrome paint that I put into a bottle cap and apply with a superfine paintbrush, which I prefer over the Molotow markers. The headlights get done as well. The decal will go over top of those. And there are a couple of features in the back, including these tail lights, that'll get a different color of red. Those door handles are small. I always add a Maple Leaf Customs channel logo to the undercarriage. Today's community shoutout goes to the YouTube channel Bad Dad. Ron participated in my recent Porsche Invitational, and we're already lined up to do a summer road trip together in August. Remember these, the original Hot Wheels Aerodisc tires? I've got these nicely spoked Samed wheels. They're real rubber, I can take that off. I'm actually going to flip these around so you don't see Samed on it. Sorry, guys. And one more touch to make them super authentic looking is I'll take these chrome rims and just lightly touch them in some diamond white paint. Hey, white walls and spokes. Once that's dried up, I can pop the rubber back on, inside out. Now that captures the look that I'm after. How about that? That's pretty close. I went online to Google Images to make sure I had the proper 1956 Corvette hood badge. And that means I'm all done except for the final clear coat application. I'm using Kaleido gloss varnish today. I give it a mist coat and let that set up, and then I'll come back for a nice wet coat. Just the standard 4 pieces, plus the wheels today. You can see the cosmetic makeover that I did on the body. Never had to handle the windshield. White respray with a new steering wheel for the interior piece, and some dashboard detail. And a new set of customized Samed wheels to fit the period. This was a really simple reassembly. These are M2 size 4mm screws that are standard Euro measurement and easily accessible over here. Smooth roller. Let's have a closer look. I could do whatever I wanted with the body colors, and I went with the two-tone classic red on white, Corvette flags on the sides. There's a detailed dash now. Hood and trunk badges. Chrome highlights. Customized Samed wheels. I love how they turned out. Only thing I couldn't fix was that two-bench look that they did for Barbie. But the biggest change, and the best one for me, is that my version is flame-free. I haven't seen the movie. You'd have to nail my head to the floor to make that happen. Except for the Hollywood interior, it's a classic 56. I really like the C1 Corvettes, and I'm pleased with how this one turned out. Leave a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Thanks for visiting my channel again today. Drive carefully. It's coffee time.